Hey, this is Nicolosi, and in this video, I'd like to showcase the group module's new modes. So let me explain the setup I have here. I have a chord progression, played by a Mela instrument, and then another instance of Mela is inserted as an audio effect with a default preset. I also have a drum loop here. Its output is not going anywhere. We'll use it as a sidechain later on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to group these modules, and you may notice that now the group module has an arrow instead of ellipsis. And when we click on it, we see it has a usual actions menu, but it also has this mode submenu. And currently it says it's in insert mode. It offers three other modes: isolate, split, and merge. And insert mode, the group module behaves as it always has in previous versions. So what it lets us do is group modules, move them around together, as well as bypass them all at once. And this is very useful because it basically lets you manage multiple modules. And this will sound the same as before. Okay, so, and we can rename this. Let's call this effect. And what I'm going to do, instead of LFO, I want to modulate filter using an envelope follower driven by the drum loop on the track 2. So I'll insert another lane with just audio in, and I'll set it to input 2, which is our sidechain. So drum is coming in via input 2, and I'll select envelope follower. And then I'll modulate the cutoff frequency, and this is what it sounds like. Okay, so this is cool, and we can even name this envelope follower. But in some cases, you may want to have a more compact form where you take this lane and just insert it inside this group module. And this works, and it will sound the same as before. And the reason it works is because recall that lanes are actually powered by group modules, and when we dragged in, it just created a group module. Well, it didn't create it, it was always there, but we can now visually see the group module. And it's now in isolate mode, not insert mode, which means this group module is not receiving any input and any outputs. That's why it sounds the same. But if we change it to insert mode, now this envelope follower will receive the sum of input 1 and input 2, and the output will be sent to the filter. And this is what it sounds like now. And you may want to have that effect, but that's not what we wanted in this case. Now, if I drag this out into another lane, so again, it will sound the same as before. And now if I move this back here, notice it was changed back to the isolate mode. So if I can change it to anything. If I change it to merge mode and drag it out and then drag it back here, it's back to isolate mode. And that makes sense. When a group module becomes a root level lane, its mode changes to isolate because lanes don't really have inputs and outputs unless you add modules. And when you drag a root level lane and drop it on another lane, it's useful that it's in isolate mode. It won't change the sound by default, but then you can change the mode if you want to. Okay, so that's part 1 of group modes. I will discuss split and merge mode in another video. Like and share if you found this useful. For any comments or questions, leave a comment below. See you next time.